Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's July 13th, 2016. The big news story: Theresa May, the new Prime Minister of the UK. It was just July 11th that the announcement was made that she'd be taking over. Today, she officially becomes the second female Prime Minister of the UK. She's the 13th person to become Prime Minister in the last century without an election. The date of the announcement, July 11th, that it would be Theresa May, is an interesting date in light of the fact that England in Jewish gematria sums to 117. They write the date July 11th in the UK, 11/7. England, the most dominant nation in history in the United Kingdom. If you haven't seen my work on Brexit, I showed how the date numerology of the Brexit vote matched the gematria of United Kingdom. What I am exposing is how the Freemasons control many of the governments of the world, including the UK, the United States, and many others. And everything that is done in these nations is done by the numbers, by a numerical code, which is a Freemason practice. So we're going to talk about why David Cameron's out today and why Theresa May is now in his place. David Cameron became Prime Minister May 11th, 2010. He was just re-elected May 7th, 2015. From when he first took office until today, his last day in office, is a span of 322 weeks and 1 day. This number 322 is very special to the Freemasons. The word Masonic in gematria sums to 223, the reflection of 322. In Revelation, the final book of the Bible, it says in the end times the false Jews will rule, and in this world they're known as the Zionist Jews. They're named the synagogue of Satan. In Revelation, the synagogue of Satan has gematria of 223, just like Masonic. It's the same Zionists running the show in the UK as it is in the United States and many other parts of the world. They've done so much throughout history by these numbers. After World War II, they started something called the Arab League, and they had the Middle Eastern nations that were newly carved up after the World Wars join in a, regional government, and they started that on March 22nd, a date that can be written 3/22 or 22/3. Earlier this year in Belgium, we saw the Masonic false flag at the airport. It was on March 22nd. It was the first or the worst terror attack in Belgium in 223 weeks. Melbeek metro station, which was bombed, equals 223. These numbers show up again and again. These are special numbers. It's no coincidence that David Cameron was in office for 322 weeks. And yesterday, his last full day in office was exactly 322 weeks on the nose. Today was plus one more day. So he's replaced by Theresa May. And let me show you what's interesting about Theresa May. There's a number of things that are interesting here. Right away, what stands out to me are her initials, TM, like trademark. TM in gematria sums to 33, just like Masonry, just like Brexit, just like Cameron, just like Remain. And think, with the Brexit vote, what was out? The Remain and the Cameron. Remember, the Brexit vote came exactly 109 days before Cameron's 50th birthday on October 9, 10/9. Parliament in gematria equals 109. In the UK, they don't vote for a person for leader, they vote for a party. David Cameron stepping out, a new person from his party replacing him. That's why they don't need an election for Theresa May. There's more that's interesting about Theresa May, however. Her name in gematria, her full name, Theresa Mary May, matches House of Commons, what the name is for their parliament over there. Theresa May, what she goes by, also has gematria of 43. The UK was part of the greater European government for 43 years, from 73 to 2016. Civil war equals 43, community equals 43. Throughout history, many civil wars worldwide have been started by the numbers very much around this number 43. And all civil wars have started from somebody breaking away from a greater governmental body. Will this Brexit vote transpire to something larger in the world? That remains to be seen. Theresa May also has gematria 52, just like prophecy, just like Bank of England. She was a banker before she worked for government, a common pattern worldwide. Why? Because our governments are run by banker tyrants. That's really what the real government is of this world. The Zionist Jews who control the banks. So Theresa May, interesting name in gematria. The Brexit vote was 52% for leave. Remember the date numerology. It corresponded with United Kingdom as well as the word leave, and the leave vote won for the United Kingdom the day of the vote. Theresa May in simple English gematria sums to 115 like Freemasons, another special number to the gang. Her middle name Mary has the same gematria as England. Her date of birth is interesting. She was born on a date with 67 numerology. Remember, they had voted years earlier to leave the greater European body. There was the death of the politician Joe Cox. Joe Cox equaled 67. Years earlier, the leave vote had failed. They only got 33% of the vote. The Remain vote got 67%. I was talking about the death of Joe Cox, this number 67. It's coded into her birth numerology as well as her maiden name. She was born Teresa Brazier, which has gematria of 67. Special number to women, female equals 67 in Jewish gematria. International Women's Day is March 8th, the 67th day of the year. She becomes the first female prime minister since Margaret Thatcher, only the second in the UK's history. Margaret Thatcher in gematria equals 76. The reflection is 67. Remember, reversals, reflections, they're equivalent in this study. 67 and 76 in numerology both break down to 13 and 4. Theresa becoming the 13th unelected prime minister since 1900. Before taking this office, she was made the Home Secretary leader on May 12th, 2010, the day after David Cameron became the prime minister. From her date at that position to her new position, prime minister, is exactly 322 weeks on the nose. There's that masonry as well, and I'm sure Theresa is a member. As for today's date, it has numerology of 56. Right now, the UK is in their 56th parliament. I don't think that's any coincidence. The word president has gematria of 56. Of course, they call it prime minister over there, but prime minister, president, it's all the same. The word president has gematria of 47. The initials PM, P's the 16th letter, 1 plus 6 becomes 7. M's the 13th letter, 1 plus 3 becomes 4. PM is 7-4. President is 47, 7-4-4-7. President is also 56, with the S exception, like them being in their 56th parliament. David Cameron was last elected May 7th, 5/7. England the small way equals 57. Simple English gematria. In Jewish gematria, 117, like we talked about. Interesting that he supposedly won 330 seats. Cameron equals 33. He's born in October. October, the only month with 33 gematria. Teresa's also born in October, and so is Hillary Clinton, who's soon to be the president. The votes don't count, people. They're all scripted. They're all rigged. It's false reporting. It's a grand deception. They said in Brexit, 33 million people voted. Remember, Brexit equals 33. 33 million people voted, I'm sure. It's all a grand scheme, plotted out by the numbers, with major duping along the way. Her history, politician and banker. She worked for the Bank of England, which has gematria of 106 and 52, just like prophecy. Again, it is the Zionists fulfilling the books of prophecy, the spiritual texts, such as Revelation, and doing it all by the numbers. Remember, this woman's name equals 52. Brexit, 52% vote for leave, supposedly. Margaret Thatcher in history was born in October. The reason they love this month so much is because it sums to 33, the number of Freemason obsession. Her initials were also MT. We got Theresa May, Margaret Thatcher, MT, TM, 13 plus 20, 33. 1013, that date, is a lot like 113, Scottish, as in Scottish Rite Freemasonry equals 113. Scottish Rite the small way sums to 57 like England. Mainstream equals 113. Dishonest equals 113. Her date of death, very interesting as well, dying on 8/4, 84, a special number to the gang, coded all over this nation I live in, over here in the United States of America, the nation that never really was independent from the United Kingdom. All of these nations are under the same Masonic order. UK equals 32, America equals 32, 7/4/1776 has numerology of 32. I'll link this post. You can read the rest of this article. Here's the blurb on how since 1900, 13 of the 22 prime ministers have come without an election, so the majority. I see a little 322 in there as well. Could be a coincidence. And again, David Cameron, the Brexit vote came 109 days before his birthday. They often measure from the birthdays. Parliament equals 109. It's the parliamentary system is the reason Theresa May, again, is the new prime minister. They don't need an election over there. She's part of the party that's in power. So that sums it up, Truth Seeker. Until next time. Encore. Just for another example of the puppet politicians that are in office, the leader of the Brexit campaign is Nigel Farage. And look at this guy. He's currently 52 years old, and he was born on April 3rd, 4/3. We just got done talking about the significance of 43 and 52 in the vote. Nigel Farage in Gematria also sums to 58, just like Freemasonry, and that's what these politicians are. They are puppets for the Freemasons who run the show from the shadows. His full name has gematria of 72. They said that it was 72% of the nation that voted. The word money equals 72. World equals 72. This was world news, special numbers. And recall, right after the vote, they came out with these headlines saying everyone was regretting it already. They wanted a petition. They wanted to vote again. They were calling it Regrexit. Regrexit has that gematria of 52 and 106. The numbers of prophecy, the numbers of Bank of England, and all of this stuff always comes back to money. You know, the banker tyrants, they rule this world like a giant Ponzi scheme. They need these turbulent moments to steer the course of humanity, create the narratives. This is what's been going on in this world for centuries. We've been ruled over by tyrants, liars, deceivers, and it's always been done by the numbers, you know? The reason I show this is so people can see more clearly the truth of what's going on in this world. None of this stuff's an accident. It's all planned. Your votes don't count. That's what you need to take away. You need to spread this knowledge. And we, the people of the world who are awake and sane, we need to take it back from the tyrants. So then we don't have to live under this continual deceit, nonstop tyranny. Until next time.